What's up, y'all? It's JP, and today we're going to talk about what you need to do to become a better shooter on NBA 2K24. From timing settings to what jump shots to use, and then actual gameplay advice. There's a lot to go over, but if you find this video helpful, remember to give us a like, and if you're new, subscribe. We appreciate your support. But anyways, let's jump straight into it. So first things first, you want to open your menu and buy jump shot boosts. It's basic, but if you struggle to shoot, you need to put your pride to the side and get these boosts. I always have boosts every time I play. There's no point in playing without it to me if it helps out with shooting. Now let's cover what timing visual cue is right for you. If your Wi-Fi isn't the best, you should either be on push or release just to account for that delay. Jump and set point are fast releases regardless of your actual jump shot, so only choose those if in the past 2Ks you're used to letting go of your shooting button really quickly. I personally use push because it gives me time to see my jump shot and then release when I feel it should be green. I've heard a lot of people also use the actual visual cue on the jump shot in regards to jump, set point and all of that, so you can keep that in mind as well when choosing which setting to put it on. Next, let's talk about turning off your shot meter. The most recent patch, which was like a week or a couple days ago, confirmed that there's a boost to turning off your meter, so even if you feel uncomfortable without your meter, you need to make that change. You want to do everything possible to help your shot become consistent, so turn the meter off, and then this next step is key. Once every week, you get to use the Art of Shooting gym to get hot zones, and then even lethal zones to help boost your shooting. Make sure that you use this every week, because once you have a hot zone, then you could turn it into a lethal zone the next time you're in there. And once you get those 2 lethal zones, it gives a pretty good boost to your shooting when you're in those spots. Make sure to put your lethal zones in spots where you tend to shoot most of your shots from. Me personally, I put them around the 3-point line on either the wings or at the top of the key. You're only allowed 2 lethal zones, so choose them wisely. Next, before you play park or rec, try going to the Gatorade and going to reserve a court for you to practice your shot on. I spend at least 5 minutes just warming up before I play, and that's why I feel on most of my builds, I shoot around 60+% from 3. Take the time to practice your shot because the Gatorade gym has similar delay to what you feel in park or rec. Practice doing moves you actually use and shooting off of them. Or pump fake and then shoot to practice your standstill shot timing. Practicing in the Gatorade rather than jumping straight into games will make a huge difference for you. I know it's unusual, but trust me on it. The reps you put up in the Gatorade will translate into progress towards becoming a better shooter. Again, put your pride to the side when it comes to becoming a better player. Do what you need to do in order to become better, even if it seems weird or unnecessary. Now, let's talk about jump shots. My biggest piece of advice is to have 2 jump shots at most and stick with them. Plain and simple. A lot of people miss because they're busy switching jump shots every 2 seconds rather than taking the time to learn a jump shot for a week. Consistency is built through repetition. If you find a shot you like, stick with it. In terms of the ratings on the jump shot, I do recommend trying to go for A speed or higher in order to avoid contest, but that's just my personal opinion. I've been using the same jump shot base for months now, and the same timing cue for months now as well. I'm on push and I use Ben Shepherd base with Oscar and Corver releases blended 50-50. My second shot is the same exact thing, except I'll switch out Corver for Chris Mullin. You're gonna find hundreds of jump shots on YouTube, but all you need is the one that works for you. Stop trying to find jump shots that work best for other people. I've given out my jump shot a lot of times now and it's always the same. So again, my advice to you is to find 1 shot, 2 at most, and then just practice it and use the other pieces of advice I gave you. Last but not least, let's talk about actual gameplay. Considering you've done everything I mentioned in this video and now you're in a game but you still find yourself to be a little bit inconsistent, my biggest piece of advice is to do other things on the court in order to build up your takeover. Doing other things like getting assists or stealing the ball or even grabbing rebounds helps your shooting, believe it or not. Doing other things on the court gets your player in a rhythm. I think 2K did that on purpose to try to implement some actual basketball principles into their game. But yeah, you want to make sure you do more than just shoot the ball. Those little things will help you build takeover, which in turn makes your shot more likely to go in. Another piece of advice I could give to you is to not only shoot threes. They've toned down three hunting a lot since the past 2Ks, and if all you do is shoot volume threes, you're bound to be a more inconsistent shooter than another player who mixes up their scoring. Shoot some mid-ranges, lay the ball up, cut for a dunk. All those things will fix your shooting problems, and if you still end up missing, sometimes it's best to realize if you're having a bad game, like I said, do other things to help your team win. A lot of this boils down to being willing to put in extra effort on things that's outside of shooting threes. Buying boosts, going to the Gatorade gym, changing your settings, and then even when you're playing, you have to defend, rebound, pass. It's crazy because doing more than just shooting is what will make you a more consistent shooter. Shot selection is key as well. Remember to take good shots and don't force shots that you know are risky. If you follow this advice, you'll also end up getting your takeover a lot more frequently, which obviously will lead to better shooting as well. I think that pretty much covers everything I could think of for right now. Remember, if you found this video helpful, give us a like and also drop a comment on what shooting tips you have or what questions you want answered, and I'll respond in the comments. As usual though, y'all, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace. How you can't tell time but you watch face? You're not on real time if you watch fake.